Hi, welcome to the Great Margarita Hunt. I'm Jenny and I'm on the hunt for the very best margarita in the whole world, even during the month of October when things get a little spooky at the end of the month. So we're going to have our margaritas around that theme, getting ready for All Hallows Eve, and we're going to try some different combinations. Let me show you the ingredients we're going to use today. We're going to use rosemary in both of our margaritas. The spooky margarita, we have some eyeballs here we're going to use as our garnish, made with these dark red cherries. We're going to put that in our margarita with our Añejo Tequila. We're using a very nice tequila for this, and Orange Liqueur. And then our apple rosemary margarita. So good combination there, rosemary and apple. And we're going to make that with Santo Tequila. Wait till we try this. This is the one with Fieri and Sammy Hagar have put together. No additives in that. And this Añejo Tequila is the one that we've tried before. It's our Mar Azul family out of San Antonio. No additives. We really like this brand as well. So we're going to have some good tequila for our margaritas tonight. So let me show you the first recipe. We're going to look at the apple rosemary margarita. 3 slices of apple, I'm using a Granny Smith. 3 ounces of club soda, I'm using Topo Chico. 1.5 ounces of silver tequila, and we're using this very nice Santo. And 2 ounces of Cointreau, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed only lime juice, 7 fresh rosemary leaves, and 1.5 ounces of rosemary simple syrup. So let me tell you how I made the rosemary simple syrup. Just like we did all the others, a cup of sugar, a cup of water, and then I put in several sprigs, about 4 or 5 sprigs of rosemary, and put it in the water to let it simmer for about 10 minutes, and then I let it cool, turning off the fire, let it cool in there, and then I drained it. You can see this is pretty dark compared to what our simple syrup colors usually are, and it has a very strong rosemary scent, which is what you want. But that means whatever I'm going to put in the margarita, I really need to balance, because the sweetness in there already has the savory of that herb, of that strong rosemary. So this should be an interesting combination. And this Santo Tequila, this is the Sammy Hagar, Fieri combination, and it's 110 proof. Now, you know, normally I don't drink anything that's strong, but I think I should at least taste it before I make the margarita, because you know we don't try these margaritas until I'm with you on camera. Oh, real is healthy. You can tell right away, ooh, daddy, that it's healthy. 110, I can tell. I have to say it's probably a little too strong for me to have as a sipping tequila, but for as strong as it is surprisingly smooth. There's no additives in this, and I like that. So let's see how this is going to work with the apple. I bet it's going to work really well with the apple. That is a healthy tequila right there, I'll tell you. Okay, so let me get my glass ready. I am going to put just a little bit of lime on my glass here. And I think for this one, I'm using sugar. I'm kind of thinking this rosemary is going to be pretty strong, and so I think I'm going to need something a little sweeter to help balance it out. So I'm going to put some sugar on this glass, and I think I'll go ahead and put my ice in right now. Now this is I don't think it's going to be as green. I was hoping this would be a green cocktail, but I've brought some food coloring with me because I definitely want it to be green, and I think the color by itself is going to be more white. So we're going to test this together as we go. Let me go ahead. I've already cut up this green apple. We're going to muddle it. And you know, this isn't a super juicy apple. So this, you might even want to cut it up more. You could put some apple juice in it or something like that if you wanted to give yourself a little bit more liquid in there. I'm going to use the rosemary simple syrup to help mix this up. And for this, I'm using 1.5 ounces of the rosemary simple syrup. So we'll get some sweetness from this, but we're going to get a lot of flavor. A lot of flavor. I'm telling you, this is rosemary. It's definitely there. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and muddle this. No, let me go ahead and get my 7. So it says 7 sprigs. So leaves, not sprigs. So I'm just counting there. That's about 4. I love rosemary. I like growing it outside. So I love the flavor. Love it with potatoes. Love it with, well, everything. Turkey, poultry, pork. Love it with lots of stuff. Now I have to say, I've never tried to muddle an apple before. And I think unlike a pear, you know, when a pear gets ripe, it's much softer. So I don't think you can do that with an apple, because if you wait for it to be soft, it's probably bad. But it's going to, the flavors, as we smash up this apple, it's going to release some of that apple flavor in here. And then hopefully that'll work well with this rosemary. But I can just tell you right now that if I was going to do this again, I would have used smaller pieces of the apple, and I probably would have pureed it, is probably what I would have done. But let's see how this does, just like this. This way we're working on this together. Okay, so we have our apple in here. We have our seven rosemary leaves, and I put in our rosemary simple syrup. So now we need our tequila, which is this very strong Santo tequila, and we're going to put in 1.5 ounces, which is going to be just plenty of this 110 proof. Don't need more than that. And then we're going to add the Cointreau, 2 ounces of Cointreau. Cointreau will be a good balance to this as well. Has a little sweetness, but that orange will help balance this out a little bit with that rosemary. So there's our 2 ounces of Cointreau, and then 1 ounce of fresh squeezed only. If I can find it, here we go. Here we go, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed only lime juice, which will help a little bit with our green, but not as much as I wanted. Okay, and then we're gonna add in, we already did our simple syrup, so that's everything except the club soda, and I'll just top it off with that. So I need to put some ice in here. Some ice in there, that's plenty of ice, a little more than I planned on. And I will shake this up, always exciting. See if it's gonna go all over me. And then we'll see apple, rosemary, margarita. See if we have something fun for your next party get together. You know, another option would be to put the apple in with the tequila and then let it be infused that way. Let me see if I can just pour it over like this. Okay, yeah, I can tell right there as I make a mess that that is not the green color I was going for. So we are gonna cheat just a little bit. Now I bought some food coloring that comes from natural products, no dyes or anything. And I used, for example, beets make the red color. So I'm going to mix this up in there and see if I need to add some more. I really wanted to get you a green color in here because I was thinking it would be good, and I can see some of that rosemary in there. That's definitely green, but it's not as green as I want. But it's close enough to Frankenstein, right? Because that's what I thought. Looks more like the Granny Smith apple that it came from, doesn't it? Because I wanted to put an eyeball. Let me show you on the side here. So we're gonna have this eyeball floating in our green margarita, our apple rosemary margarita. We will taste here in just a moment. That gummy is a little sweet, but I don't think it's not gonna melt in there. Although with that 110 proof, it might melt a little bit. Let me show you the spooky margarita recipe. We're gonna use 1 fresh of rosemary sprig because we're gonna light it to try to make it smoky. We'll see how that works. 5 cherries, and I'll tell you about that here in a moment. 2 ounces of Añejo Tequila, picking that up because I think we want that depth of flavor. 1 ounce of Orange Liqueur, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice, and 1.5 ounces of that rosemary simple syrup again. Now, please like and subscribe. If you want us to keep making these recipes and you want to tell us about some that we can try, we need you to hit that like button and we need you to subscribe so we'll know you want us to keep doing this. All right, ready. Let me get this shaker here. Now, for the cherries are no longer in season where I am. So we bought frozen dark red cherries. Now I'm doing this because I want the color, but I also thought the flavor would be good. I like making cherry pies at Christmas, and so I thought the flavor would be good. If I'd had the fresh ones, I would have tried to smoke them. That's really what I wanted to go with, but I think this is going to be an interesting combination. So here I said 5, and these are already pitted. I just let them thaw. How many is that? 4, and let's just that one was little, so we'll go with that. So we're gonna have the 5 cherries in here, and again, remember this rosemary is very strong, this rosemary simple syrup. So we're gonna go ahead and put 1.5 ounces of this in here, and we're gonna muddle those sweet cherries, hopefully they're sweet, those sweet cherries with this rosemary simple syrup, and that should be an interesting combination, putting all those things together. So here we go. We're going to mush this up in here. This is a lot easier than that apple. The apple was not as easy to mush as these cherries, but I thought it was a little bit like those eyeballs. You know, it's fun to see the little cherry bits in there when you're doing that. You could also throw cherries in there if you wanted to have them. If you tried to make it, you could make a picture of this in advance if you wanted to, and have the red cherries mixed in with the eyeballs. Now I've got some green little bouncy balls. They were supposed to be glow in the dark, and I'm going to put that in here just as a garnish. Some people will have put in dry ice. I don't want to ever put anything in my glass that we can't drink. So we decided not to do that. Instead, we're going to put in a smoky sprig of rosemary to get our spooky drink. Okay, so I have the 5 cherries in there, and I'm going to use this añejo. I'm going to use 2 ounces of the añejo, and this is going to be, I thought this would work well with the cherries. So normally we don't make our margaritas with añejo. The silver is usually very good for most of the drinks that we have. Silver would work just fine, but I thought the añejo would work well with the cherry, so that's why we're doing that. 1 ounce of the orange liqueur, and for this one we're going to use this Paula's orange liqueur that we found recently, made in Texas, thanks to our friend who recommended it to us. And we're going to put in 1 ounce of this orange liqueur. Orange and cherries go well together. And then 1 ounce of the fresh lime juice, fresh squeezed only. Are y'all tired of hearing me say that? I know that when I'm looking at other people who mix things and they say fresh squeezed only, I'm like, okay, I can listen to what else they have to say. And I already put in the simple syrup. So now we just need some ice. Oh, my glass. I need to get my glass ready. Here we go. We're going to use this glass. And again, I'm going to use sugar on the rim. With all these cherries, maybe I'll just put it on half. But here we go. Right there. I haven't put my soda on top of our apple one yet, but I'm going to. Here we go. Wait for the last minute to do that. I can get my ice out. We'll put ice in our glass. It will cooperate. Here we go. And some more ice in here to shake it up. All right. We go. And then we're going to try to light the rosemary on fire and not me. Okay. So we're shaking up our cherries. Not as red as I was thinking, but it's red enough. It'll have the effect I'm looking for with those eyeballs. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of this food coloring to it so that we get a little bit more of that red look before we put in the eyeballs. I know that sounds so gross, doesn't it? But, you know, it's all for the effect here. That's more what we're looking for. Okay, so now we can pour this over our ice and get that appropriate effect. Oh, goodness, it's not wanting to come out completely there, but that'll do it. Okay, and now we want to put our smoky rosemary on it. Now, I don't have a smoking gun, so I'm not going to try it that way. We'll see how this works. What I have is rosemary. I'm going to set this on fire. I have a fan going, so I'm going to set this over to the side. Let me move this out of the way and see if I can make this light the way it should. Okay, so ideally, I don't know if you can see this, but we do have some smoke coming off of here. Right before you served it, I would do that, and then I'm putting in one of our eyeballs. I'm going to show this to you over here on the side. Looky there. You've got your eyeball with your smoky rosemary sprig. I would light it again right before I give it to them. Let me put these couple of ounces. Oh, good. I thought it was going to explode on me again. If y'all watched me a few weeks ago, that happened. On top of this, right at the last moment, let's try the apple rosemary margarita first. Ready? I am ready. With our eyeball. It is kind of odd. Okay, let me do this. needs a little bit more apple flavor in it. But considering the strength of the tequila we put in here, this is not bad at all. You could get in trouble with this, I'm telling you. And of course, it's looking back at me, which is always kind of odd, isn't it? The glass is looking back at me. I might even make it a little greener. But adding in the club soda or the Topo Chico just lightened that up. This is a very easy drink. Like I said, you a good tequila could get you in trouble with this, but I like it. It's a very interesting thing. I'd give it a 3, although for artistic effort, we might give it a 3.5. Now, let's see how our cherry rosemary, our spooky margarita is doing. Oh, that's really yummy. Interesting. That rosemary, I know it's, well, no, it's not smoking anymore. But putting those flavors together, oh, I could get in trouble with this. It's an adult drink. So even though you have the sweetness of the cherry and the sweetness that came from the simple syrup, with that rosemary in there to balance it out, with that very grown-up Añejo tequila in here, this doesn't taste like, it's not like a Shirley Temple, you know. This is a grown-up spooky margarita. Oh, I like that a lot. I would say I give that a 4 for sure. I actually like both of these drinks. They can see me. It's kind of odd, but I think that's fun. It makes it fun having the margaritas with you and with your friends. So I enjoyed this a lot. I definitely want the sugar on those rims for this, those different savory flavors mixed in. The sugar helps balance that out a little bit. I like those eyeballs looking at us to have that fun part. If you can think of a margarita that you'd like us to try, please comment below. We'll put these recipes down below. And until then, the hunt continues.